Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over the taillights with blind spot monitoring system. So this kit here is going to be an excellent upgrade here for your vehicle if it didn't already come equipped with the blind spot or rear cross traffic safety features. So basically what these are is this kit sort of does two different things. Number one, it's going to alert us to our blind spots. Therefore, when we're driving out on the highway and we want to turn over or merge over into another lane and there's someone coming up onto that lane behind us, we can't always see them because our factory mirrors don't always give us the best visibility. So there is a certain area where we can no longer see them, but they would still be in potential for a collision if we were to get over. And that's just simply referred to as our blind spot, something we can't see in our mirrors. So having this system on board here, this is going to alert us to someone in our blind spot. That way we know we can't quite get over. We either need to speed up or let the traffic move on by so we can safely merge into the other lane. So that's going to be the main feature of this kit here. The other one is going to be a cross traffic safety feature. So cross traffic, this is best going to be demonstrated, let's say when we're at the grocery store, there's a busy parking lot. A lot of the times you can have traffic coming both ways behind you and you can't really see until you back up the vehicle because you're all the way at the front there and there's usually cars on either side. So you really can't tell if there's anyone coming until you get in your vehicle and you actually start backing up. Now sometimes, depending on the speed of the cross traffic, this can actually cause a collision because you just can't see them and you're pretty much coming out blind to them as well. So having a system in place here to alert us that there's a vehicle coming up on us when we're trying to back up, it's going to ensure that we don't cause a collision. So we do have an on and off button here for our blind spot monitoring system, and the real reason you're going to be using this is when you're towing. This system here doesn't work well if you're towing a trailer because it's going to think someone's in your blind spot and it's going to give you false alerts. So while you're towing, it's a good idea to just go ahead and turn the system off here so you don't get any false readings. So we're merging onto the highway here, trying to get over. Got my turn signal on. Luckily everybody is letting me over, but I can kind of see I got a car coming up on me. Yep. Right now our system is alerting us to that, so I need to know, basically telling me I can't get over, I'm not safe. Now I can look out the window and see them there, but I couldn't see when he was right coming up on me. So system worked pretty good there, no complaints. So let me know that there was a car in my blind spot and I needed to use caution before I got over. Looks like he sees I want to get over, so now he's slowing down and now I can successfully merge. So coming onto the highway, I always find myself to be sort of a little bit cautious when you're doing that because you don't know if everyone's going to get over, if they're going to merge for you. And a lot of the time that traffic is coming up on you a lot faster than you're merging onto the highway there. So having that feature there is especially helpful in that particular situation, I will say. Although our system will only give us an audible alert while we have the turn signal activated, it's still going to have that light in the A-pillar when there is someone in your blind spot. So you're not always going to get that loud audible alert. It's only when you have your turn signal on. If you just simply glance at the monitor, you will see a light still when there's someone in your blind spot. So go ahead and put it in reverse here. I can see we have someone coming up behind us, and there we go. Our system is working correctly because it's alerting me to that oncoming car. Therefore, I know I need to stop and wait for them to pass before I can pull out. So the blind spot and the rear cross traffic are actually factory equipment on certain makes and models. So whether you purchased one without those upgrade options or it just simply wasn't an option for your vehicle at all, this kit here is going to be a great added safety feature so you can get to your destination safe and sound and in one piece. So what's really neat about this particular kit here, because there are other aftermarket blind spot monitoring systems you can install in your vehicle, but this kit here is pretty much plug and play for the most part. It actually integrates into the vehicle very nicely and uses a lot of the factory components. So in the kit, you're actually going to be getting new taillights. So I really like the look of these new taillights. They're basically going to use the same bulbs as the factory one, but we do have an extra sensor built in here on the bottom. And this is going to be where the sensors are located for our blind spot and our cross traffic. So it does replace the factory taillights. And if you ask me, I really like the looks of these, so it sort of adds to the style of your vehicle as well. So the way this all works is and how it communicates with the vehicle. So we have our new taillights here, and then we have a couple extra wiring harnesses that plug into the vehicle. Now the port in the vehicle we're going to be using mostly is going to be the OBD2 port. In addition to the OBD2 port, we do have a couple wires we have to splice in, so mostly plug and play, but there are a couple splicing connections we need to make, which is back at the trailer connector. That's not going to affect any of the systems on your vehicle, so it is pretty minor. But basically what this does is this sends a signal to our control unit there that lets us know when we're up to speed and when we're making our turns there. Because if we were just driving around in an empty parking lot or a half full parking lot, what have you, each time we pass a car, if there wasn't any sort of metrics there, our system's going to go off. And we don't want our blind spot monitoring system going off when we're just driving around town or we're driving through a parking lot. Therefore, it needs a way to sort of decipher that signal. And how this does it, it picks up on two different things. It picks up on the vehicle speed, and it picks up when we have our turn signals engaged. So this is going to get rid of a lot of those false triggers there, because the system isn't going to turn on until we're at highway speed and we're using either our left or right turn signals. So it's going to be a way to make sure that we don't have any false readings and they're only really working when we need it, which is when you're out on the highway. So then we do have an ignition wire that's going to get hooked up to the fuse bay up here, or the fuse box in the engine bay. Now this is just simply going to turn on the signal. It's going to let the system know when we start the truck so we can wake it up. So inside the vehicle here, mounted to either A-pillar, we're going to have our sensors here. So the sensors, they're going to be an LED light. So basically, when there is someone in our blind spot, this is going to flash yellow. That's going to let us know which side the system is warning us, whether we have a vehicle on the driver or passenger side. There's one of these on each side, so the correct side is going to light up depending on what side the vehicle is coming up on. And then we're also going to get an audible alert via a speaker mounted here behind the A-pillar. So this is going to give us a nice indication of someone in our blind spot. We're going to get both an audible and a visual alert. And the visual alert is going to be side specific, so we can easily tell which side that we need to have caution on. So in regards to installation, this particular kit really isn't bad. It is going to be mostly plug and play. There's going to be very little modifications to the vehicle. The only thing that you do have to modify, or rather splice into, is going to be 3 wires at the back of the trailer connector, but that's not going to affect any of the lights on your vehicle, so it's really not that big of a deal at all. But aside from that, everything is pretty much straightforward, plug and play. You really don't need too many special tools to do this. You're going to just need some common hand tools to get the taillights off, to remove a couple panels. But aside from that, you're going to get a set of wire crimpers and strippers. But that's pretty much it as far as the tools. I would say this is definitely a beginner can do this. A do-it-yourselfer is going to have no problem getting this done in 3 to 4 hours or so, depending on your experience level. And that's going to do it today for our look at the taillights with blind spot monitoring system.